Hello, people of the Twitch streams and YouTube alike. My name is Gray, and today we will be checking out the brand new Kenworth T880 Next Generation by Frank Peru for American Truck Simulator. So, to get started, this is basically the truck right here. So, Frank Peru has already had a T880 model. It was just the basic generation T880, and he recently announced that he was coming out with this beauty, the next generation T880, which has all the new current technology from the next generation Kenworth T680. So I'll start it up here. So right now we're rocking Cummins X15 productivity chip-tuned engine on a 13-speed transmission. And we'll take a look inside. But first, let's go into the shop and take a look at this truck, shall we? Alright, so basically you've got a couple of different options here. You've got the basic day cab, which, as you can see, is a short chassis with just a day cab. You've got the modular sleeper, which is still on the short wheelbase. No, actually, it's on the longer wheelbase. My apologies. You've got the mid-roof sleeper, which is basically just a mid-roof flat top. And then you've got the high-rise, the creme de la creme. So basically, you've got four different chassis modifications here. You've got the short 150-gallon, short 200-gallon, then you get the long 6x4 220 and 300. But for some reason, the 300-gallon tank is not available on the mid-roof sleeper or the high-rise, so you'll just have to wing it with the 220, which isn't that bad, but what are you going to do? Now, if the same person who is watching right now is the same person who was watching before, my apologies, because I'm the stupidest human being on the planet. I forgot to put the game on the stream. So, yeah. I'm still smacking myself in the head for that. But we're going to do it right this time. So I'm monitoring the stream, taking a look at it, and we're all good, hopefully. So, alright, so as you can see, we've got some pretty much all the engine modifications you would expect. This comes with the Creech Bomb engines on board, so you don't need to download it individually. We got all the basic engines: Packard MX-13, X15, 3406, C15, etc. Right now, I'm rocking the Z-Mods Cummins X15 Productivity chip-tuned. So this is my own custom modification to it. He has a Performance 565 tune with 700 horsepower and 2550 pound-feet of torque. This tune right here is basically a real-life chip tune for the Cummins X15 productivity. Bumps the horsepower up to 601 horsepower or 507 kilowatts and 2399 foot-pounds of torque, or 3253 newton meters for all you European folks out there. Thank you for the like, World Tour Truckings. So, standard on this truck, you get just some basic and transmission modifications here. You get the Allison transmissions and the Eaton Ultra Shift transmissions, which it doesn't give you that many options in regards to differentials and actually, kind of loadouts for the transmission. But I adapted it so that we can have the real Eaton Fuller transmission mods, which I have saved locally. And if you know where that mod is on Steam, pretty much he has a link there to go and get the local version, so that you could have both the standard SCS trucks and the modification trucks, and you could pretty much change the modification trucks, just change them out however you want, depending on which trucks you have in game. So, along with my X15, I have it paired to a Eaton Fuller Ultra Shift transmission, 13-speed R, 1684 with a 253 differential. Basically, with the X15, since the torque comes in at 1,000 RPM, I like the 253 differential. Basically, when you're going at about 55, 65, 75 miles an hour, you're going to be cruising at about 1100, 1150 RPM, and pretty much at 50, 60, and 70 miles an hour, you're about 12 to 1250 RPM, which is a good cruising range for this engine since the torque is so low. You've got a couple different options for the interior here. As you can see, it has a much more detailed interior than the standard T680 truck. You've got the limited edition black interior, which I like the best. It's got this nice brown and black combination inside. You got the basic diamond VIT beige interior with both the black and the tan has the basic like storage unit right here. And then if you go to the Vantage interiors, you get the 6-gauge loadout right here, which has suspension load, oil temperature, primary and secondary air, amperage for your battery, and transmission temperature. And then you have the gray, which is a pretty neat combination. This, I believe, is the real-life color combo for this truck. A nice tan and brown, saddle brown interior. And this is the diamond, and then you can see if you go to the slate gray, you have a little bit of different color combination for the seat. So for the paint job, you got some basic paints, which I think Frank pulled from the Freightliner, basic Freightliner Cascadia, because as you can see, it has this Concord color, which I like. Not on this truck, more the Cascadia, but you got a couple of different options here: metallics, basic colors. Then you've got the nice Kenworth colors, the dark red metallic, sky blue, and sunset metallic. And then if you want to pick your own custom metallic color and make it your own, you can. So as you can see, we do have several different modifications to the exterior here. Basically, you get some chrome around the windows, chrome window fairings. And you also have some chrome underneath the window right here. Then you also got a stainless steel sun visor and a kind of a bow tie painted sun visor, which in order to get these slots here, you do need to have the Kenworth W990 installed, because that has the W990 lights, light accessories for the sun visor and the rest of the truck. I don't think it comes specifically on this truck, but for the W990 you have it. But if you want lights for the sun visor here, you're going to need that truck. And that you could just get from the Steam Workshop. So we got some chrome fairings, or standard, right here. Some more chrome. Chrome around the wheel wells right here and the front. You've got your external mirrors right here, which you could have in just plastic, paint, or chrome. And right over here you have chrome, aluminum, which kind of looks more like chrome if you ask me, but I digress. You have paint, and then just the basic plastic front right here. Then you have the grille combination, which is standard, paint, and again, chrome. You get some different bumper options. The standard basic chrome bumper, paint, standard plastic. And then you've got the more heavy-duty type bumpers, standard, paint, and chrome insert right here. So now, this comes with all the basic, wheels that SCS has on all their trucks. But if you have SCR's Smarties wheel pack, you can get all their options here. And I personally like the 22-inch Alcoa chromes. So basically, you also have, just the oval side flares, round side flares, different type of door handles right here. You got some different options for the tank sides, which is just a standard paint. You've got the exclusive battery paint with a DEF tank right here. So I'm going to go specifically with the exclusive battery painted side skirts, which has the DEF tank on this side. And if you're planning on putting an engine in here that doesn't use DEF, you could just kind of take it off with this one right here. You got some different wheel fairing models. There's the standard plastic, chrome. You've got the flow, which is just a kind of a basic airflow aerodynamic attachments from Kenworth. You've got another one right here, so you can see it's slightly different. Another different one, which is paint, chrome, and then you have the higher aero, which kind of is extended a little bit, as you can see. You could put that on chrome as well. And then you have a more extended aero siding for this. Basically, you got some choices of mud flaps, standard, Kenworth right here, exclusive. You got the custom backlights right here, which is actually pretty nice. I think I might actually put that on there instead. And I think that is basically it for the exterior. You got, double radiant lights right here if you want to start towing heavy holds. Different HVAC units. Exhaust options. You have the basic SCR underneath exhaust. Chrome curved on the side right here, or a flat top. Then you got a single exhaust and dual exhaust, the new Kenworth style. And yes, so next up, so I'll kind of show this in the interior of the truck. So you might be asking why it has such puny mirrors, and that's because we have the option for mirror cameras. So basically, you could have the choice of either the standard mirrors or the cameras. I'm not really a fan of the standard Kenworth mirrors. You could put those on there if you want, and those just look like they ordinarily would. And also you could put plastic and paint and chrome mirrors. So now if I remember correctly, I mean, people might know this better than me, but in Europe, they don't need this exterior camera, but I believe in the United States, by law, you're not supposed to have just a basic camera mirror inside because they're just starting to make their way into the US, so you need a backup, a physical backup. So that wouldn't surprise me if our wonderful lawmakers have done that. You got some basic options right here with your wheels. If you have the wheel pack from SES, you have all of those compatible with this truck. You have the old-fashioned Kenworth style wheels, Kenworth exclusive. Then we started getting into the new style, which is pretty much what you would find on this truck if you had it in real life. Nice perforated leather, basic, probably polyurethane wheel right here, duty wheel kind of. And then you have the exclusive aluminum casting on here, more perforated leather. Then you get to the exclusive wheels, which this wood paneling right here, if you had the gray Diamond VIT, that wood grain matches right here. And if you have something else like the brown, you have the brown leather, the brown wood right here. And then again, you have the plastic, and then you have the aluminum, which is probably higher quality for the higher trucks. And you also have like the brown and black combination. So you got some basic options for interior accessories. You got the 2 cup holder options. You get your 2 dashboard accessories right here. Now the only option you could have right here for the front seat is this plush not going to pronounce that. Plush dinosaur. And then in the back, you just got some basic options for the bunk. And you can also change this to be, either a door or a window, depending on what you feel like. And that is basically it for the interior. You also have one more thing. If you're planning on putting a manual transmission in here, you can see when you put the manual shifter, it gives you the 3rd pedal for the clutch and the actual shifter, which you can kind of change, and it has some different options right here. So this is, lower ones, it's probably a 13, 18, and you have a couple of different options, as well as a nice grip shifter chrome right here, which is kind of like a high mid-level type of shifter for the middle. So if you're into a fully manual transmission, this is what you're gonna need. But it's nice that he gives you that option to have it with or without. And that is basically the basics of this truck. So Again, you could get it straight from his website. It is $18 US. And I'll probably, when I upload this to YouTube, I'll put the link in the description. But if you just search up Frank Peru, you'll get his blog spot. And you could go and purchase it directly from there. So, let's go and start this baby up. And I'll show you the fully digital gauge cluster. Alright, so if you've driven the Kenworth W990 mod from the Steam Workshop, you'll kind of be a little familiar with this interior. It lights up with the headlights and stuff, as well as the gauge cluster. And when you look in here, the gauge cluster isn't that sharp, but it's not a problem because he actually, Frank Peru does do a very good job of replicating the real life gauge cluster from the new digital gauges from Kenworth. So if you go through it, this is basically what it is when you start it up. You have a little blue background on the second page. Third page, you have your primary and secondary air, oil temperature, fuel with mileage, which is very helpful, and your coolant. You also have on the fourth page, you have your brake application. So if we go and step on the brake, you can see you've got your suspension load, axle temperatures, primary and secondary air once again, your oil temperature again, fuel level. This is time it's in a percentage kind of. You have your DEF level, coolant temperature, and also your trip mileage and your instant gas mileage, as well as your turbo boost and transmission temperature. And that's basically the page. So it's very simple, very straightforward. Again, it's not that sharp, but I think he does a very good job of hammering home with the gauge cluster. If you would look it up in real life, it looks spot on. And also on all the pages, you have your battery voltage, time, outside temperature, time to rest, which is also very helpful. You're on the left side, on the bottom left side, you have your total mileage, and on the right side, you have your trip mileage. Also, in the right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, you have your gear selector, so neutral, reverse, drive, and then in the speedometer itself, you have the actual gear that you're in. So, without further ado, let's go and take this baby for a spin. I'm probably not going to do as long of a route this time because, again, I screwed up my stream before, so and I do have to go to bed to go to work tomorrow, so I'm going to just try and do a nice little ride through Montana. We should be able to get some more options here. No. Let's see, do we have something interesting? Dog food, no. 5,000, nah, it's too light. Yakima. Cody. Crap. Not really anything, but you know, we'll do this. We'll take some used packaging from Missoula to Kennewick, Washington. It's about 35,000 pounds, so pretty decent of a load. So again, I'm using Zmod's X15, Cummins X15 mod. It's, I believe, $4 or $5.99 on this website. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good,
go straight,
accurate representation of the X15 for your modern trucks.
You have reached your destination.
So if the one person who's watching right now is still the person from before, thank you for your patience. So, and thank you for watching. Right now. Honestly, I am lazy, so I'm just gonna skip this and go right through it. taking used packaging again from Missoula to Kennewick at Union Pacific. So same day delivery. So about 293 miles, 5 hours and 18 minutes. So it should be about 15 minutes. I think it was an hour. Yeah, 15 minutes in real life. And yeah, let's reset our trip computer and head out on the road. There we go.
Turn left.
Jeez. Not a smart idea. Not a smart idea. It's okay. It's okay. Should I get it fixed? Alright.
Go straight. Keep left. After 50 yards, turn left.
So again, I did mess up my stream once.
Turn left.
The first stream with this truck, so apologies if this is cut short a little bit. But probably going to be doing another stream with this truck again, just driving it. Since this one I kind of showed you, I'll give you a rundown of it. I mean, it is a pretty decent truck. Again, I do have John Ruta's American truck pack, and I mean, in terms of customization, it's nowhere close to it. But I mean, John Ruta's stuff is what, like, you know, $50 a truck, $25 a truck, or something like that. This one's only 18. So you're not getting as much customization, but you know, for the work that Frank Peru does, this is one of the first mods I've downloaded from him, and I've played with some of his other mods that have been free in the Steam Workshop. This is the first one I actually bought, and you know, I mean, for the price, it's definitely a nice truck. I mean, he does a good job with the interior dash, the interior customization and stuff, and the exterior model as well. So, you know, if you're looking for a good T880 model, this is your go-to.
Keep left. After 50 yards, turn left. Turn left.
You gonna go? Or are you gonna be stupid? And he's gonna be stupid. No problem. So the first time that I attempted to stream, we actually did a route from Phoenix to, I think it was Bakersfield, or somewhere in California. And honestly, I much prefer driving over here in Montana, Idaho, you know, Washington State even. I mean, the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit for trucks in California is just abysmal. So, in conjunction with Z-Mod's X15 engine, I also am using his G5 interior and road noise modifications. I had a couple of issues with that originally. When I first put it on here, I couldn't hear anything. I thought it was just me, but I did some research, and if you do have his G5 sounds, you do have to put it above the engine sounds and just increase the volume level of it, and you'll be able to hear it. So, you know, if you're listening on headphones right now, you have your volume all the way up, you can kind of hear some of the rattling and stuff. You know, kind of when we're going over the road and maybe we like hit a bump or something. So his previous generation, interior and road noise sounds were good. I think this generation is definitely better. They sound more realistic and you know, definitely kind of, you know, lower in volume, but in terms of how frequent they are and pretty much, you know, the characteristics of the sound. It's much more realistic than his previous generation, which basically was just incremental rattles and sounds as you went over the road. So in here, it's a little more realistic. Yeah. Alright, where is this? Is this on the left or is it on the... Yes, it's on the left. It's one thing I don't get about the way stations in Montana. That on the left, it trips me up all the time. Like, I'm staying in my right lane, expecting to go into the right to exit, and it's like it jumps up on me on the left, and I'm like, "Argh!" It's bad if there's traffic. Yes, yes, yes. Inspect all you want. Here we go. Thank you. Trying to put on Z-Mod's MX-13 engine sounds from his DAF MX-13 mod for Euro Truck Simulator, and it just wasn't coming through on any of the engine sounds over here. But you know, Creech Bomb's MX-13 is also pretty good. I mean, I think Z-Mod's is definitely more realistic, but if you're looking for a good MX-13 engine, Creech Bomb has you covered. And, you know, it's a pretty decent engine as well. I mean, the way that I found a chip tune for it, it came out to, like, I think 600 horsepower, or 2150, 2160 pound-feet of torque, so it bumps it up by about 300, which is good. So if you like rocking small block engines, it's definitely good for you. That truck just appeared out of nowhere, which is nice. But yeah, most of my trucks in game, I always like putting chip tunes on them. I mean, it's worth it just for the extra performance. And because my first truck was the Mack Anthem, and that has the small block MP8, which only maxes out about 505 horsepower, 1850 pound-feet of torque. So putting a chip tune on there gets it up to, I think, like 2100, 2200 foot-pounds of torque, 600 horsepower. So, you know, it's definitely worth it, and the MP8's a good engine. But, you know, again, it's worth it for that extra oomph you get with the torque and the power. And it's pretty easy to customize if you have engine modifications in-game. You just go in, change the torque and newton meters, and, you know, get cracking. I really do think that they did a wonderful job with Montana. It's honestly my favorite state now in the game. Just the fact that it's got nice 70-mile-an-hour, scenic, wide open road bliss makes all the difference. I know some people like driving on country roads, but big highways are they're just nicer to cruise down. Not have to worry about one-lane roads with a Mama Luke in front of you going 20 miles an hour below the speed limit, and you're like, ah! Now, you can't really see it here in the daytime. I mean, I talked about this in the previous stream, which obviously didn't work out very well. The one thing I like about the camera mirrors is, one, they're tucked in to, like, you know, inside, so you don't have to, like, constantly look out to the left, to the right, and stuff. You still gotta look to the right for the right side mirror, but if you're just taking a look at the left, you just kind of move your eye to the left. You don't have to turn your head and stuff. So it works out, and also at nighttime, the one thing I hate about driving at nighttime is that you really can't see out and you can't see in the mirrors. The thing I love about these camera mirrors at night is that they become much brighter, so you can see a lot more stuff at nighttime, which is always helpful. dash. You've got your ETA there, which is very, very helpful. One of the things that I hate, my biggest complaint about
Keep left.
keep left. One of the biggest complaints that I have about the digital dashboards, specifically with the the Daimler trucks, like Freightliner and Western Star, is that you really can't see the tick marks on the RPM gauge, and on here again it's not that sharp, but you can still see the tick marks very clearly. And on the new Western Star and the Freightliner Cascadia digital dashboard, the actual RPM gauge is integrated in the same circle as the speedometer, and you just can't see the torque, where the torque is for the life of you. I mean, if you're driving the same transmission differential ratio, you're gonna know where your torque lands at each gauge, at each gear. But it's always nice to kind of see it in real time. So, but we don't have that problem here on the new Kenworth digital dash. So, I haven't tried out Frank Peru's 579 model, but that also has the digital dashboard, and the Peterbilt is just slightly different than the Kenworth.
Left.
So I was actually thinking of buying that, so as well, but we'll have to see.
left. After 100 yards, turn left. Turn left. You have reached your destination.
So you can see as we go bump, you can hear a little more of the rattling. So the actual timer when it occurs in this new the new G5 effects pack is it's a little better. This is a bit of a tight spot, but we're going to get into it. Oh, shut up. I didn't tell you to come over here when I was backing up. Beep it out of your ass. Go, go, go. Everyone's on a rush to go nowhere. Right. Safe and on time. So, my last journey didn't go as well. Let's just say that. Alright, well, this is going to be the end of the stream tonight, everyone. And again, if you are interested in purchasing this wonderful Kenworth T880 Next Generation, you can go straight to Frank Peru. You can just search it up on Google. It'll bring you right to his blog spot. It'll probably be the first truck on there if he hasn't come out with anything since. And you can see all of his other trucks that he's made, and his prices are pretty reasonable. This one is specifically $18 US, and I got he's got his other ones which are about give or take $20. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time. Enjoy.